All right, boys, you've got big goals, you have a big dream for the future, but your mental energy is limited. There's only so much that you can keep track of and think about during the day. I wake up at 5 a.m., I work until around 9 p.m. with a workout break in between and eating food. But within that time frame, I do a lot of stuff. And if I had to think about what to do, and I had to constantly remind myself and try and use all my mental energy to keep my whole work block organized, I would go insane and nothing would happen. So Todoist is a system that I use to manage my tasks, to program my upcoming days and weeks ahead of time, and keep me in a flow state of productivity, high work output, and ultimately get more done throughout the day. And I'm going to show you exactly how to use it in this video. Yes, boys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Miko Stewart. I am a man on a mission to help other men become more masculine, break free from the chains of modern, weak society. And I'm doing this through sharing my own life lessons, my experiences, and the systems and tools that I've developed on my journey of being a school dropout, addicted to drugs, no life purpose, to now a man who is full of life energy, a successful online coach, and is traveling the world helping other men do the same. So let's get stuck into our Todoist tutorial so you can start being more productive with your work blocks and manage your life in an organized way. Okay, so welcome to the browser version of Todoist. What I love about this system is you can download it on Apple, Android, Mac, Windows. You can have it as a browser extension or just a website version, or you can download the PC app as well. I've had some issues with the software on the PC app. It kept crashing and not loading on me, so I've decided to just stick with the browser version. So I'm going to give you an in-depth tutorial, but also quite simple because a lot of this is just learning as you go. But I'm going to highlight the key features so you can get started and start to create your own program of tasks and become organized without too much friction between you getting started. So on the left here we have our different sidebar of different options. We have our account, notifications. You can connect your Google Calendar, but I would opt to not do this because I like to keep my calendar and my task manager separate. I keep the calendar for my client calls, my specific timed events, and also I keep my tasks for strictly for business tasks and all the things that I need to do throughout the day that don't require a certain time duration to be focused on. Now, this is a sample account. I have my main account separate because it doesn't really highlight the key features I'm trying to look for. It's a bit chaotic and overwhelming, so I just kept it simple right here. So the inbox is where you will see every single task that you create in these separate sections here will show up in the inbox. I recommend staying away from this because it's just confusing. As you can see here, it looks a bit hectic. You'll have your today list, which will show you all the tasks that are to be done today. You'll have your upcoming area, which is the area I use the most because it allows me to track the full week ahead and set reoccurring tasks, and I can see it very neat and orderly. And the way you would change the view here is up in the right corner, you click view and you can see the different options here. So you have to pay for the premium version for the calendar. I don't really need it. I use the board as the main function. So you have the list function, and then the board is the one that I use the most. You have filters and labels, which I don't really use too much. And then I use the project section quite a bit for separate things. So for example, I have like one for client guides, one for YouTube videos, one for draft scheduling, one for form videos, and it allows me to keep my tasks for individual projects separate from my upcoming page. And what I love about it is, let's say you did create a project, business development. So this is an example of what it looks like. You can create different headings, so different sections. So for example, here we put in YouTube videos, and then when you have like a YouTube video you want to create, you can put it in here. You could have a separate section for ideas. So this is what I love about this app, is the functionality link up between the phone and the PC. So the way I have it set up on my phone is I have my Google Calendar widget and I have my Todoist widget. So I can see my Google Calendar events right clear as day. It's a visual cue, so it reminds me what's going on straight away. And then I can see my upcoming tasks in prioritization order on the Todoist widget. So when I click into the Todoist widget on the phone, I can then add tasks directly from the phone. Just click the plus button and it'll open up the task. And you can move stuff around on the fly, and it allows you to see your upcoming tasks for today once you program them in here. So the link up between the two systems is phenomenal in my opinion. And remember, this is a free app, so the value that you get is phenomenal. So I'll just give you an example if you were to add a task. So let's say ideas, Todoist tutorial, questionable spelling. Okay, so depending on where this was in my ideas list, I can set a priority. So I can say P, just after the title, P1. And this is then going to highlight it in red, as this is the priority. So we have priority 1, 2, and 3, and they're color coded. So let's say Todoist was of top priority on my ideas list. It would then go to the top of the list. Let's say Google Calendar tutorial. God, I can't spell tutorial today. Tutorial. Okay, there we go. And I could select this as priority 2, and this would always go below the main priority in the list, and that will be the same when you then put it into your today. So if I had a date that this needed to be done, let's say I wanted to work on this idea today, I click today, and then when I go to my today list, it then shows up. So once you create projects, you create tasks within those projects, you can then schedule days for them to be done, and it'll show up very neatly in your today page, which is what I love about this system. So let's focus in on the upcoming and basically the week and daily schedule. This is an example that I have created for my client guides within Project Rebuild. Project Rebuild is my one-to-one coaching environment community where I coach men to become more masculine, achieve insane physical results. You can check out some of my results on my Instagram page. The link is in the description. And this is basically a system that I've put together highlighting the key things that my clients that I work with need to focus on. So for example, their grocery shopping, their workout days, what day they check in with me weekly, their meal prep days, mobility days, etc. And what you can do is when you click on a task, after the name of the task, you could type in every Monday. And you can see it's now been highlighted, and when I click enter, it will then repeat with this little purple repetition icon. It will repeat every Monday. So once I tick it off, if I go to next Monday, it will then show up. Okay, so reoccurring tasks, so you don't have to manually schedule every single week. You could also do something, for example, like this. I think this works, every second Tuesday. And it will then show up every second Tuesday. So it's here for this week, it's not here for this week, and then it should be here for the following week once I tick this off. Let's just find out. Okay, it hasn't. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure why that is, but you get the gist of how you can organize the scheduling of the tasks. What else? You can create subtasks underneath the main tasks. So for example, for your meal prep days, you could put in the meals that you want to create and how many days worth. So chicken and pasta, 3 days worth, beef mince and rice, 3 days worth, and then you can tick them off as you go, and then tick this off as well. So very, very beneficial for keeping the structure of your tasks, breaking them down into subtasks, and making everything very user-friendly to stay on top of all the things that you need to do. So that is the main gist of Todoist. I just want to highlight to you the mindset around this kind of stuff. When you're using any sort of systems like this, it's very important to come at it with patience, because often I've programmed in a schedule, or I've had big projects going on and all this kind of stuff, and there might be a bit of friction. It might take a bit of getting used to. So you need to give yourself a solid 2 to 4 weeks of using the app, using the system, playing around with it, and finding a system that works for you. You know, you might not like the reoccurring function, you might not use the priority function. Sometimes I don't use that. So it's just about playing around with it and finding out how you can make it work to serve your life. Because ultimately, the goal here is to make your life easier. If you find yourself obsessing and being a perfectionist around the little details and wasting a lot of time playing around with Todoist, that's ultimately not the best way, because what is more important here, you know, getting in and doing your leg day, or sitting down and wasting a lot of time playing around with it and programming your structure? You know, the main focus should be the thing that moves the needle forward with your goals, whether that's business, family, relationships, training, whatever that may be. The action is what's going to bring the results. But in order to do the action, sometimes we need to be a bit more structured, but we don't want to waste excessive time on the structure. So when you're structuring stuff out, if you start to feel like you're getting burnt out, you're falling down the rabbit hole of procrastination, or falling down the perfectionism rabbit hole, which is actually just procrastination in disguise, pull back, take a reset, go take a 10-minute break, leave it to the following day, and allow it to come together when you actively learn and you put it into motion and you see how things work. Because the way anything works in life, it's trial and error. You know, there are no failures, there's only lessons and learning. You cannot fail if you don't quit. If you just keep trying stuff out, implementing it in your day-to-day, you start to see what works and you can create the ultimate system for you. So if you like this kind of stuff, you feel like you want to achieve a fantastic physique, you want to get coached specifically on your goals when it comes to business, relationships, masculinity, spirituality, and overall become the highest achieving man you can become a high vibration man. I coach men individually to achieve such results. You can apply using the link in my bio, and we can have basically a one-to-one call to see how my system can help you and take a deeper look at your goals. So that's it for this video, boys. I want to say thank you very much for your time. If you like this content, you want to see more of it, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notifications, drop a comment, all that good stuff. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.